All right, we're going to go over question 1B from the 2014 free response questions. This question asks you to create a method called scramble or remove, and the idea is that it will be sent a list of words, and in the event where you encounter an A, you need to scramble that word. And if there is no A or no A or an A that's not at the final position, you need to remove that word from the list safely. So the method was created for you if you're just following along with the written solutions. Public, it's a static method. It doesn't return anything. It just makes adjustments to the list. Scramble or remove. And this method receives a list of words, a list of strings, string objects, called word list. And because it doesn't return anything, we don't have to be worried about it having a return statement, obviously. Since I'm doing this in Eclipse, we have to import the list, and it's from the utility library, not from auth. So we need to create, we're going to use a while loop to do this again because we're going to make adjustments to our list within the loop, and so we want a little bit finer control over the list. Now you can do this with a for loop, but just sometimes it's easier to think through what you're doing with a while loop. So we're going to create int index again and set that to 0, meaning that we're going to start to look at the first word in the list, and we're going to say while index is less than word list dot size. We want to figure out what's going on here, so we're just going to store so we need to compare, we need to see if the word is scrambleable. So the way I'm going to do that is comparing the result of our previous method, and you need to use the previous method in this. So the result of scrambled word with the word itself, and if the two are equal, we know that it doesn't have to be scrambled. Regardless of whether or not your above method works as it should, you can do this. So we're going to create another string called scramble, and we're going to set that equal to scramble word, and we're going to send over scrambled word, the word list dot get index. And now this will generate a string for us that is the result of scrambling the word. So we're going to test the string that's contained at the index with that scrambled version. So if scramble dot equals, if our word that's been scrambled equals word list dot get index, then we know that there is no scramble and we need to remove it. So word list dot remove that word from the list. And in this instance, because the list is now sliding back, we don't have to actually do anything, right? We don't have to increment the index because now the next word has slid down into that spot. But if we don't have to remove it, else we need to set that item to the scrambled version because that's prescribed in the method. So word list dot set. So if there is a scramble that we need to set it to, we set it at that index. We want to set it to scramble. And then in this instance, we want to increment the counter, and that is the method. It's a fairly straightforward method that involves just thinking through, okay, I want to iterate over a list of objects, in this case strings, and I want to test whether or not the string that's stored there can be scrambled. If it can be scrambled, if it can't be scrambled, I want to remove it, meaning that if they're equal, if the two words are equal, I want to remove it. And then if it can be scrambled, I want to set the word that's listed there to its scrambled version, and then I want to increment the index. So we go through the entire list. And that's it for this method.